All right, let's talk about the Leo token. We're going to jump right in and break down exactly what it is, how it works, and most importantly, why you might care, especially if you're an active crypto trader.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever made a great trade, felt pretty good about it, and then looked at your balance only to see that it's been chipped away by all these little fees? Yeah, it's a feeling every single trader knows well.
And look, it's not just the trading fees, right? We're talking about deposit fees, withdrawal fees, even lending fees. Individually, they might look tiny, but if you're trading regularly, they add up fast. They can really start to eat into your profits. And this is exactly the kind of problem some crypto tokens are trying to solve.
And that, right there, is where Leo comes into the picture. Now, instead of thinking of it as another coin to speculate on, try thinking of it as a tool. It's a very specific tool designed for one job: solving that fee problem for people who use the Bitfinex exchange.
So, officially, what is it? Leo is a utility token. It was created by IFEX, and if that name rings a bell, it should. IFEX is the parent company behind both the Bitfinex exchange and Tether, the company that issues the giant USDT stablecoin. So Leo's entire reason to exist is to give real, practical benefits to people using that very powerful ecosystem.
Honestly, this is the best way to think about it. It's not some grand plan to change the world. It's simple. It's a VIP pass. You hold it, you get perks, you get better treatment on the platform. It's a really straightforward and pretty powerful idea.
So what does this VIP pass actually get you? Well, the benefits are all about saving you actual money and time. We're talking lower fees on every single trade, cheaper fees when you're lending, and even smaller costs when you're moving your crypto and your cash on or off the exchange. If you're a heavy user, those savings can become really, really significant.
Okay, so we get the what, but what about the how? How does all of this actually work to create value? Well, there are basically two main engines driving the LEO token. Let's dig into them.
First up, it's super straightforward. The system is tiered. The more LEO tokens you hold in your account, the bigger the discounts you unlock. This creates a really clear reason for the platform's most active traders to want to own the token. More LEO equals more savings. Simple as that.
But the second part, well, this is where things get really clever. It's not just about getting users to want the token, it's also about actively managing the total number of tokens that even exist. This is a pretty powerful economic idea, and it's a huge part of the token's design.
It's a process called a buyback and burn. Let me walk you through it. First, IFINX makes money from all its business operations. Then, it takes a slice of those profits and uses it to buy back its own Leo tokens right off the open market. And here's the critical step. Those tokens that they just bought, they're permanently destroyed. They're burnt. The whole point is to gradually reduce the total supply, making the remaining tokens just a little bit more scarce. If this sounds a little familiar, it should. This is basically the crypto version of a stock buyback. In traditional finance, public companies buy back their own shares to reduce the number of shares out there and hopefully boost value for investors. It's the same core concept, just applied to a digital token.
All right, that all sounds pretty good, right? But nothing's perfect. No asset comes without some trade-offs. So to really understand Leo, we've got to take a balanced look at both the good and the potential risks.
So on the pro side, the case is pretty strong. First, Leo has real, tangible utility. It's not just hype. It actually saves you money. Then you have that deflationary burn program, which is a powerful economic design. And it's all backed by IFINX, which is a massive, long-running company in the crypto world. Plus, the fact that it works on both Ethereum and EOS gives it a little extra flexibility. But you got to look at the other side of the coin, too. Leo is extremely centralized. Its success is completely tied to the success and reputation of one company, IFINX. Its use case is also pretty narrow. If you don't use Bitfinex, the token doesn't do much for you. And of course, like any crypto asset, its price can go up and down, and it exists in a constantly changing regulatory world.
Okay, let's zoom out for a second. Leo isn't some strange one-off idea. It's actually a perfect example of a huge trend we've seen in the crypto space: the rise of the exchange token.
You see, LEO isn't alone here. Other giant exchanges have their own versions. Binance has BNB, OKX has OKB, and they all serve a very similar purpose. The playbook is the same across the board. Reward your users, cut their fees, and, at the end of the day, build a fiercely loyal customer base that's invested in your platform's success.
So what are these things, really? At their heart, they're brilliant customer incentive tools. They change the relationship. You go from being just a customer to being a kind of stakeholder. By holding the token, you're rewarded for your loyalty, and you have a reason to want the platform to do well.
Okay, we've gone through a lot here. So, what's the big takeaway? Let's boil all of this down to the key things you really need to remember about the LEO token.
I think this sentence just sums it up perfectly. LEO isn't trying to be the next Bitcoin. It's a practical, business-first tool. It was made for a very specific type of person, someone who actively uses Bitfinex and wants to save money while doing it.
So if you forget everything else, just remember this. What is it? A utility token for Bitfinex. Why does it exist? To save you money and give you perks. How does it work? By holding it and through that token burn. And who is it for? Active traders on Bitfinex. That is Leo in a nutshell.
And all of this kind of leaves us with one big final question to chew on. A token like Leo represents a clear trade-off. It offers real, practical dollars and cents utility, but it gives up on that core crypto ideal of decentralization. So it makes you wonder, as this whole space evolves, which one of those ideas is ultimately going to matter more?